Hello and welcome to Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 49. I'm Adam and today I got two more beasts fighting out for a spot in round 2. And both of these beasts are relatively new actually. One is from the newest series participating in this tournament and the other, I only did the beast review for it a year or so ago now. I don't know how long ago it was, but it was a while. But it's still new compared to literally every other book in the series. So, yeah. So let's introduce them. Representing Series 25, The Prison Kingdom. Book number 1, Akorta, the All-Seeing Ape. And representing Series 27, The Ghosts of Caradon. Book number 1 as well, Gorog, the Fiery Fiend. I almost said the Fiery Fury, but no, I knew it wasn't that. It was the Fiery Fiend. This is going to be a rocky... No, this is going to be a rocky jungle terrain arena. And I'm doing that because jungle terrain, Akorta will have the advantage, and rocky because Gorog will have the advantage then. So, kind of evens it out. But with that, let's get to the stats. Okay, and with the stats done and the battlefield decided, we're going to go into the weaknesses. We're going to start with Akorta. With his only weakness is his exposed flesh. Parts of Akorta's stomach and back aren't covered in fur, making him vulnerable to attacks. For Gorog is an weakness to acid. Gorog can be melted by acid if held in it for long enough. So with this, it seems like it's going to be an interesting fight, but now that you've seen the stats, I think we know who's going to win a bit more. But with that, let's get into the fight. So as the chamber doors open, both the beasts exit from their chambers. Gorog bounds out to the centre of the arena, looking around for his opponent. But then he notices there seems to be a jungle in the way. Akorta's making his way around the edge of the jungle and can see the fiery glow, thinking that must be his opponent. But then Akorta realised, wait, if there's fire, that means the jungle can be set on fire. And right she was, right when she thought that, a bush that was right next to her just erupted into a burst of flames. And that burst of flames just spreads to all the trees around Akorta while she's covering her eyes. Some of those flames singe Akorta's fur, but nothing too bad. And she sees that all the jungle is starting to catch fire, in which Akorta realises her cover's been blown. Literally. Akorta, in retaliation, is smashing every rock he sees, just to take away any of Gorog's hiding spots. And after all of that, Gorog sees Akorta, but decides not to attack, only to see what he's doing. And Gorog just stays at a safe distance away from Akorta, but Akorta can see Gorog right behind him. So Akorta stops what he's doing and stares daggers at Gorog, whilst Gorog only stares back. Akorta goes to charge towards Gorog, but Akorta can't seem to move. It seems like, and Gorog just staring right back at Akorta. It seems like Akorta is in some sort of trance. He can't seem to move. Then Gorog just stares down towards Akorta, and Akorta can feel his chest starting to heat up. and he moves his eyeballs down to where he can see smoke just erupting from his chest, and then his chest fur just catches fire almost instantly. Akorta, still unable to move, is feeling the pain and wanting to let out a scream or anything, but is not being allowed to. Gorog makes his way up to Akorta, still keeping him. Akorta locks in place with the hypnotism. He lifts up a claw, digs it into Akorta's stomach, and just drags it through. Blood starts gushing out of Akorta's stomach. Akorta's wanting to scream, but he can't. Gorog goes behind Akorta now and bites into Akorta's back, digging his long fangs into Akorta's back. Akorta's feeling the pain, and Gorog tears out a massive chunk of flesh as blood is gushing out all over Gorog. However, Gorog doesn't seem to care. He only wants to make Akorta suffer. Gorog stares into the giant flesh he's made, and as he does that, the blood inside of Akorta starts bubbling and steaming. Steam erupting from every hole and cut in Akorta's body, coming out of his closed mouth, his nose and ears. Akorta knew what Gorog was doing. He's heating him up from the inside. Akorta's in unimaginable pain, but is not unable to move. He can't do anything. And as Akorta is feeling all this pain, Gorog decides that he's just going to just keep staring, let Akorta burn to death from the inside out. As the fire that was on Akorta's chest first spreads to all the other fur, burning some of the flesh as well. That, along with the cuts and bites that Akorta has taken from Gorog, it was nothing compared to the pain that Akorta was feeling inside of his body that he's unable to do anything about. And then suddenly Akorta can start to feel his muscle movements again. He can actually move now. But when he realises he can do that, he feels a bit of a victory at the moment. But then he realises why Gorog has let him go. He turns around to see Gorog throughout his front eye. He goes to take a march towards Gorog, but he instantly falls to the ground. The pain was too severe for Akorta to move any further, and Gorog decides to be a bit honourable and slashes at Akorta's neck, causing blood to gush out of Akorta's neck, as well as all the other cuts and places. But this time the blood that came out was steaming as well and bubbling as it piled up in the ground. Akorta saw this, and right before she can do anything, her vision faded to black and her body slumped over completely. So with that, Gorog has won, Akorta has lost. If you think Akorta should have won, please leave in the comments below what you think of that. However, my word's final and Gorog is the winner. Now, with this, the burning vision and the hypnotism, both of these are related to one thing about Gorog, and that is his eye contact, his vision. So with that, Gorog was able to just freeze Akorta in place when he can see him, and then just start burning and attacking Akorta whilst Akorta can't do anything about it. And then Gorog can decide to let Akorta go, which is exactly what he did, only to die. And that is pretty much the fight there. So I think Gorog's a beast to watch out for, because this one seems like a very evil one that doesn't care if you die in misery and pain. So with that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.